and also risk of major builders going bust. We've seen it time and again over the last couple of years. The building game is a very tight, razor-thin margin game. I worked for builders in my earlier stage of the career. We were pricing jobs at 0 to 1% margin and only making it up on variations to stay profitable. When margins are that tight and we've got elevated inflation, elevated building costs, labour costs, it doesn't take much for a builder to find themselves running at a loss, especially if the job gets delayed by a couple of months, 6, 12 months. They lose money on these jobs. If they can't finish the project and you've already paid your upfront deposit and even gone unconditional, you may not even receive your product or your property, or you may end up having a defective property, such as the stories in Sydney, the Mascot Towers, where dodgy developers went under, built the new building. When all the people went to load up their new furniture and loaded the building up, it started having structural defective issues. So then they weren't able to move in to occupy their property. They couldn't rent it out, and they still had a loan to the bank. So they are definitely a riskier product. They also come with higher holding costs. So with all the gyms, lift pools, maintenance upkeep, it does create the holding costs a lot more higher than the smaller boutique blocks that have none of the bells and whistles. So they can be very negative geared to hold. Yes, they look nice and shiny. However, with the sheer mass number of apartments, they lack scarcity. Therefore, when and if you go to sell, there may be multiple other properties on the market for sale or even for lease, so that it can create it very challenging to have long-term sustainable